Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to play with collage a little bit more now. I obviously had a bit of a disastrous video with my last video. It took forever to actually complete my collage page. But what I thought we'd do is make some pocket type items out of my scanned in collage pages. So I'm going to start with these ones and then we'll just see how we get on time wise. Obviously I'm very aware that I took up masses of time of you guys last time. So I'm going to try my best not to do that this time. So I think what I'm going to do is I have printed this piece just onto normal, you know, standard copy paper. And, whoa, sorry, just dropping things here. And I've got two copies of this. And what I've quite liked doing lately is kind of just backing them together because it obviously kind of thickens them up, makes them a little bit more robust, but they have kind of a different feel to obviously if you just printed them onto thicker card, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to kind of literally, you know, glue them together, I think. So I'm going to use, I think, some Mod Podge to do that. Oops. If I can actually open it. And I'm just going to probably just brush it around. I would quite often use my fingers, but I'm trying to be, you know, a little bit better as I'm doing a video. So just going to go roughly around there like that. Yeah, I've constantly got glue and Mod Podge and goodness knows ink, everything all over my fingers. So yeah, but I thought I'm doing a video, so I'll try and be a bit better and a bit more kind of not professional obviously, but what's the word, just a bit neater, because you know sometimes I do see other people in videos just do things like using their fingers, but I'm never sure really whether kind of other people do that. So I always find it refreshing when people do things like that, because it's nice to know that you're not the only person. Now I'm having problems lining my paper up, so hold on. Okay, now it doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, you're not really going to notice, because what I'm going to do is obviously then fold this to make a pocket. So just kind of going over it there to kind of smooth out the Mod Podge. Yeah, it just gives it a kind of different feel really, to kind of if I just used, you know, like double-sided a thicker card to print on. It's quite fun to kind of have a different texture, I suppose. So there you go. So I should really leave it to dry, but I'm very aware that obviously I took up such a huge amount of time in the last video that I really don't want to kind of dilly-dally too much today. So I'm going to kind of make one of my little kind of folding in pockets. So just working out which way round I want to have this. So I think probably like this. So all I'm going to do is kind of fold in one piece here. And obviously this is just standard A4 size paper. And then what I want to do is I want to fold kind of in the middle-ish, but leaving a bit of a gap so that when I kind of use it as a pocket, there's a bit of a gap. So just going to kind of fold it there. I mean, again, obviously I really could have done with you know, waiting for my Mod Podge to dry, but we'll just go for this. So like that. And then just going to unfold this and cut down this side So I've got roughly the same size pocket on each piece. So I'll just cut down there. And I mean, again, even the cutting, it's not really enjoying it, obviously being, you know, still wet, but never mind. So what I'll do now, I'll just fold this one over, and then so as I have this one the same size, I'm going to take it kind of at the back and just fold that over. I have done a tutorial on this, so you know, this is nothing that you haven't seen before, but I'm just kind of doing it now with the collage paper instead. There we go. So that's kind of my basic pocket now, like that. And obviously I'm going to trim this off because otherwise it's kind of very, very long. So I'm just going to go round and kind of glue where it's obviously, you know, not kind of obviously stuck down. So we'll just kind of glue it there like that. I'll just use the glue rather than the Mod Podge at this point. I'll just glue down here. Obviously I'm going to trim this off to kind of make it look neater anyway. So I need to decide now how I want my pocket cut, because I do really love being able to see this butterfly, I have to say, but I'm not so keen on obviously now having my bird cut kind of in half, but I do love the fact I can see the butterfly there, so I will probably cut it kind of here, I think, and then we'll try and kind of cover up where this bird is now snipped in half. So if I kind of cut it down like about there, and then I'm going to cut off the bottom because obviously, you know, where it's not quite married up properly, I'll just cut along there because again, just got a little bit of kind of like overhang, you know, where I've not married up the edges quite perfectly. So there we go. Right, and it just has this really nice feel when it's kind of the paper doubled up, so you know, that's why I quite liked doing that. And yeah, I mean, I just really like the fact that we've got that butterfly there on the front. It looks really pretty to me, so you know, that's all quite nice. I'm just going to kind of, because I obviously folded this when it wasn't dry, just going to kind of smooth that out a little bit. Like that. Okay. And then, you know, if you saw my tutorial, I just then am going to kind of glue this in so you've got two little pockets in there, and then you've got your kind of cover there like that. But I want to obviously kind of cover up this bird as well, so let's start by covering, or not covering, sorry, the sticking the flaps down, you know, for the little pockets. So just pop them down like that, and then this side as well, like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring back my painted flowers, and hopefully we can use something here to cover up this bird. So let's try this one here. And obviously I've got my fabric pieces and some postage stamps and things like that, so we can always kind of add a couple of different things to kind of cover it up. But I mean, effectively, I just want to kind of get rid of, obviously, you know, nobody wants to have the back end of a bird just sat on there, do they? So I just want to get rid of him. Like that. Okay. So I'm just kind of fussy tearing this like that. And, you know, I mean, these are obviously my hand painted flowers. Obviously they're a non-breed. They're just a shabby jabby doodah made up breed. So I'm just going to kind of pop that like that. It really hasn't got, you know, especially right way up, but I mean, obviously I have got my leaves kind of going up that way. So as you can see, it's obviously not quite covering. So I've got another one that obviously is left over from where we collaged that last page, you know, that took forever. So I'm wondering if I could kind of just layer it up a bit like that, because I just, you know, I just want to get rid of him really. So we might have him like that. I've got some words here that are just floating about on my desk. So we could kind of pop a little word on there somewhere. So got this one says joy. Could pop that down somewhere. So hold on. Oh gosh. So we could kind of like, you know, pop that somewhere like that. And then probably, you know, tie that in somehow kind of on the other page. Now probably not this, because obviously then this would bulk out my folding pocket too much, but I might be able to kind of just fussy cut one of these little rosebuds. So let's just have a look. I mean, I say rosebuds, I hope they do resemble kind of rosebuds. Obviously that's what they were kind of a little bit intended to be. So there we go. Just so we've got kind of a bit of marrying up of the two sides. So, you know, that looks quite nice, doesn't it? So let's just pop that down here. Like that. And just whilst I'm gluing this, just going to this piece of paper down under there, just so as I can press it down but without gluing it to the underneath. So there we go. Okay, and then we'll just glue this one. Just glue that kind of on top like that. Okay. And then we can just have that little word kind of, you know, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily need the word, to be honest, but, well, perhaps I won't have the word. Perhaps I have the word that side. Or perhaps we should have some blue on the other side as well. What do you think? Let me just fussy tear this one out and see how this one would be. Well, we have got another couple of rosebuds actually, so just fussy cut that rosebud out. So I hope everyone's having a good day. You know, hope you're all feeling well and doing well. Hope you've all managed to squeeze in some craft time. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having a bit of fun doing some crafting. Maybe I'll have it like that. Yeah. Let me just tear this out because, you know, I will kind of inevitably end up using this somewhere anyway, so. I mean, I would kind of pop some fabric or something, but obviously I'm trying not to kind of bulk this little pocket out too much on the inside, if that makes sense. So we will kind of embellish the front, but I'm trying not to kind of bulk the actual inside of the pocket out overly. So what do you guys think if I remove this so it's not confusing it? Or did you prefer it just with the rosebud? Or maybe just like that actually. So let's just pop that in like that. Okay. Okay. Right. Oops. Okay, right. Stop playing around. So then on the front, obviously we could just add a couple of little pieces on the front. So maybe we could add these couple of bits that we've just kind of fussy torn out. Now, I know this sounds like really odd thing to say, but I'm going to drag in a couple more of the pieces that we've done already because, oh, you know what I'm like for the matchy-matchy? I've kind of lost track now of what we had done already, and I don't want to kind of go too far away from what we've done, you know, because then I won't feel happy that kind of everything's tying in together. So I just wanted to kind of, yeah, just pull them back and kind of just remember really where we've been going with our pieces, so that I kind of make sure that there's some sort of, you know, for me, like a little bit of a matchy kind of thing going on. So I've got this ribbon that just is floating about on my desk. I might just see if we could kind of pop this somewhere on there. It had been inked up on the other side and I didn't obviously want it really inked up, so could have that there. I'm literally just grabbing rubbish from around the desk and kind of just, you know, popping it on really. And then we've got that little word love, which we could just have that kind of somewhere. Well, I'm just so conscious of not taking forever because I'm so embarrassed about the last video that it took such a long time to complete. So I'm trying my best to get through this one a bit, you know, in a bit more of a timely fashion. Right, so fabric wise, if we wanted to have any fabric here, what we could do, I wonder if we could kind of, maybe like that. Oh, what do you think? So if I just tear that kind of across, like that. Just wonder. And I think inked this up on one of the sides. Now I'm not sure which side. That side, I think. Because I didn't really want to ink any of this. I wanted it to have a really bright, vibrant kind of feel. So I quite like that. So I might just glue that on. Just as a kind of trim. Yeah, I'm going to have it down that side. So just going to glue it on. Like that. And I'm just going to get rid of the top because it's, you know, that top bit, like the header of the fabric. It's just that. So just get rid of that. Oh gosh, that's so pretty, isn't it? I love this fabric. It's gorgeous. Right, there we go. And then I'm just going to glue this ribbon on. I love just kind of when you just spot something laying around on your desk. I mean, I've said so many times, my desk's such a tip that obviously there's endless amounts of rubbish floating about on the desk. But I just love it when you kind of suddenly spot something and think, oh, that would work well, you know. And for some reason I then start kind of feeling like, oh, I'm clearing my desk. And I could probably grab things for the next year and my desk would still not be clear. So the irony, really. Oh, I quite like it all bunched together like that. So can you see what I've kind of done there? I'll just bring this up to the camera. I've kind of bunched everything up together, so including my little stamped image of the word love, and then it's all kind of concentrated in this area here. So I quite like how that looks. So I'm going to glue this all down, and weirdly I might just use some hot glue for this one because it will glue nice and quickly onto the fabric and also have a little bit of that raised kind of effect going on. So just kind of glue that on there like that, and then I'm going to have that little word saying love, which I will just kind of wet glue on there, just kind of like that to the side. Oops. Like that. And then we were just going to have that little rosebud kind of like that, or down there. I'll have it up. Oh, I don't know actually now. I did want it all kind of clustered up there, but I'm not so sure. Oh yeah, like that. So again, I might just hot glue this one down. Like that. Super pretty. Looks really pretty, doesn't it? So hopefully you can kind of see that now. And then obviously inside we've got it kind of going on like that. Left it kind of plainer because I didn't want to bulk it out. I do wonder whether we could just have some flat laying fabric, because that probably, you know, would be okay, and it, you know, it wouldn't bulk it out too much. So if I just kind of bring a little bit of fabric in. Oh, it might not work quite as well as kind of in my head it looked before, so let me just tear this little strip down the side. I'll keep it really thin, and if we could just kind of edge it like that. Oh look, that's kind of overhanging a bit, so just going to run a bit of glue down there. Otherwise, every time this kind of has been folded, it's going to have that happen. So just kind of glue it on a bit more, like that. So I do quite like how that looks. Is it necessary? Probably not. Probably not. Nope. I wonder whether I should just have a piece of this kind of really thin going down the edge. What does everybody think? Let me just cut that here. Let's do a really thin strip again. Maybe not, maybe not. Maybe I should put a bit there. Yeah, I quite like it at the bottom. And I wonder whether I need a bit in here. Right, let's just, now I've stuck to it with the glue threads, the hot glue threads. So let's just pop this down here on the bottom. Like that. Just cut that off. Like that. And then do we want a piece in here on that side? Or maybe on that side actually. Like that. Okay. Then we just cut that up like that. Oh, that's super cute, isn't it? Right, so liking that. So, and you know, really nice and still lovely and in keeping with the other pieces that we've kind of made. So I'm happy with that. Right, let's pop them to one side, and then what we could do is make a couple of very teeny little kind of pieces to pop inside here. So we could even maybe utilize these, or this, that is obviously the top piece that we kind of, you know, discarded. So if I just get that like that, and just see whether that fits in there for a start. Right, okay, So let's trim that down here on the edge like that. And obviously I had already folded that, but I might be able to tear that off because it wasn't stuck too brilliantly. So that's quite nice. But that's coming off quite well. Okay, right, it might be stuck quite well on this section, so might not have quite such a lot of luck here, but that's fine. Okay, so then what I can do is obviously pop this down onto something. So let me just see what I've got here. So what we could do is pop it on here. It's kind of backed onto like book page effectively. So I mean, again, actually I might just Mod Podge this down. And obviously it's not going to be perfect because we've got a couple of kind of ridges here and this bit's going to be thicker, you know, but hopefully that's fine still. I don't want it to go on some really thick card because obviously, you know, this is quite a kind of delicate piece. And obviously that pocket would be quite bulky if you had kind of a couple of quite thickish cards in there. So if we just pop this like that down there, and just again pop that to one side, and then I'll just again spread it out with my card. Just spread it from the back. That's going to be the kind of slightly more problematic area. But again, I do love this kind of using every element, so that's a nice feeling that we're not wasting things. I'll just cut down here, like that. Cut here. And then just trim around there, just kind of trimming it down where it maybe hasn't kind of glued down so brilliantly at the edges. So just cut that there. Okay, I'll probably trim it down now, make it a little bit smaller so it's not looking quite so kind of monstrous. And then we'll just check that fits nicely. So, and it does. And then we can just pop something on to tie it in colour wise. So move my pieces out of the way, and then I think what we'll do is just pop on one of these little rosebuds, because then that just ties it in to the pocket itself. So just cut around that like that. Oh, how cute is that? Looks gorgeous. Right, so just see whether we need any fabric or anything on there, or we could have a little postage stamp, one of the vintage stamps, unless we have it on this edge. Oops. No, I really liked that rosebud down there, I think. Do we like it with the stamp or without the stamp? I think with, actually. Oh yeah, let's have it with. Right, so got vintage stamp here. Pop that on. Try not to overthink things. Trying to get through this video much quicker than the last one, which was just awful. There we go. And we just pop down the little rosebud. Oh, I was going to say so cute, and as I did, I just slid it right across the card. Right, so really, really cute. Now I'm just looking around to see if I can find my corner rounder somewhere, which should be here buried. Yep. Oh, gosh. So we'll just round the corners slightly now. Hopefully these are going to round okay. Obviously it is a bit wet still from the Mod Podge, but you know. I'll just do that from that side as well. Right. Oh, how cute is that? So that one can just go in there. I quite like it actually. I like it so you can see the rosebud and the postage stamp. So maybe on the other, actually no, I'm going to put it on this side, but so you can see the stamp and the rosebud. And then obviously we can make one to go in the other pocket. So again, I've got the other piece that we used. So again, I wonder whether I can manage to kind of separate that. This one seems to have stuck slightly better. So I'm not sure whether it will peel apart quite so well. Well, that will probably do, to be honest. So if I chop that down here, like that, and then again, I've got that blank piece of book page that's showing there. Let me move these bits out of the way because I'm sure that this must be a horrible video to watch with so much rubbish everywhere. So again, I'll just grab my Mod Podge and pop it on there with that. Okay, and we'll pop that down there like that, and then just spreading it out, turn it over to the other side. Okay, and pop this to one side. Okay, right. And then I'll just cut this one out. Like that. Like that. And then the bottom. And again, might want to trim this down because it's quite a humongous one now. It's quite long and skinny. But it's kind of cool because it just matches this piece. So pop that like that. So this one, let's see what we want to pop on here to kind of tie this one in. So again, let me just pull back my kind of little rosebuds. Biggish one on there. Like that. Go round. Okay. That one there, that's quite nice. And then I just wonder whether we just have a little piece of fabric on this one, just to kind of act as a bit of a tab, because this one kind of tucks quite into, you know, in. So I'm just going to pop a bit of glue down there, just stick that on there like that. And then again, I'll just hot glue this on just for speed this time, because I don't want to have to kind of make you all just sit around waiting for the glue to dry. So there we go. So that one just goes in that side like that. So, you know, really cute little pocket idea then. And hopefully kind of with the couple of journaling cards that kind of tie right in. So gosh, I'm covered in fabric threads now, I'm afraid, so excuse my messy hands now. And this one, obviously, we've just got those two, and they're obviously just playing with that book page on the back, so you know, quite nice there. Pop that one in that side, that one in that side, and then love obviously the front of this, so put that in there, and then the front looks like that. And again, obviously it's up to you how you would kind of have this in a journal. I would be inclined to possibly use some string, or maybe make a little paper clip to kind of hold it closed. So let's just see how it would look with a bit of string on there. So it's kind of cute with some string, isn't it? Just wondered whether we could have had the string going that way around actually. Let's just see how that would look and how it would work. So if I were to kind of have the string going around this way. Oops. Oh, come on. Like that. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it, for a change? What do you think? Not sure which way I prefer. So just kind of, sometimes we get stuck kind of doing things always in our go-to way, don't we? And it's sometimes nice to kind of do things a bit differently. So, well, perhaps I'll just mix it up and we'll have it that way. So, there we go. And again, let's just make that string a bit longer. Oh, gosh. I'm now, literally, fingers and thumbs, all over the place method. So, there we go. Running out of string, need to buy some more. So, tie that on like that. Cut that down. Oops, look, hardly any left. I love my string. So there we go. Isn't that cute? And I'm just going to run a bit of glue kind of down there to attach that string. Have to say, bit of a shame to cover this back up, because the back is also really pretty. So you could have had it as a floating kind of pocket and moved it around in the book, but anyway, I've attached the string now, so we're going to just commit to that. So super cute, and hopefully kind of in keeping with the other pieces that we have already made. So I hope that that video was a little bit of an improvement on the last one, and not quite so lengthy. Yeah, so I hope that you are having fun if you're doing some of these collage pieces, and yeah, that's probably kind of enough for today. So I'll see you all again soon. Thanks very much for watching.